Queer Talanoa, the podcast series, is brought to you by the global queer people of Fiji in an effort to share the stories of queer Fijians and our experiences. The views, thoughts and opinions expressed belong to the hosts and guests of each episode and do not necessarily represent the entire queer community of Fiji.
Sounds great.
Hey guys, it's Noel here from Auckland. We are back with another episode of Queer Talanoa.
Hey everybody, it's me again, Avi, all the way from Spain, but I'm still Fijian at heart.
Oh hell yeah, of course you are.
Yeah, it's weird for me to just say I'm like from Spain, but I have to mention somewhere in there that I'm Fijian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm always doing that. On the here in Auckland as well. I'm always having to point out actually, Indo-Fijian, we're from Fiji. that's
Exactly.
who we are.
I have to make it really clear before people start, when I meet someone new here, before people start guessing about me or making judgments or misconceptions about me, I just make it very clear I'm from Fiji. And the matter of fact is not many people know what Fiji is or where Fiji is or if it's in a country. So whole education process, I love it. I love educating people about my country, about my culture, about telling them about everything. So yeah.
Now I have to take a second here, and just ask, what have you been up to, Avi? It's been a while. So what have you been doing?
I know. We had our last recording was last year, wasn't it? Last one was
It's been a while.
ages ago. No, yeah, we both decided that we needed a break from this, and I think for me personally, I just needed this break to concentrate on myself. After the pandemic, many people's priorities changed, and so did mine. So I had a plan here in Spain that I needed to achieve, and which I've been able to do while I've been away from this, while I had taken this break from this podcast thing. And now I'm back and I'm fully recharged, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's good. Honestly, we all need to have that break. Like I to give my 2 cents here, I needed that break. Like we went into doing this podcast way back when, and we got a couple of episodes in, and things just happened. Shit hit the fan. Like,
No one
and I was
expecting it. It was
yeah,
unexpected, so
it was so unexpected. I mean, right now at the moment, what we're in February at the moment, I'm working full time, just doing the usual stuff. Yesterday, I was back into my acting workshop, which was great. So I'm back into like my normal rhythm now, and it feels so good.
it does, doesn't it? And then just to touch on a point, when we did start that podcast, we started during the pandemic and we were all way in quarantine. We had lots of time in our hands to just
Yeah.
record things. And then when life got back to normal, we find it really difficult to, get together and record things because, like I said, our priorities had changed. But I'm happy that we are back together now and we can talk about bullshit.
We can start our gas bagging, our gossiping, back to our usual shit. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I guess, the hiatus that we had, we went in strong. It was going really good. And the break that we took, I'm going to just talk about why I had to take that break for a second. This is me sort of opening up here so that people can maybe get to know me a little bit better. But for me, that break that we took from this podcast was actually more of a mental health break. Like I was under a lot of pressure back then, not just with this podcast. I had a great time doing the podcast and doing everything for global queer people of Fiji. It's been really good, but your personal life, like it can just, you don't know, and it's suddenly things are just happening. And I had some incidents happen in my personal life where,
Incidents.
well, yeah, just a lot of anxiety and panic was happening. So taking a step away from, even just social media, and deciding to go and talk to someone, I needed that. And you guys sort of gave me that space, and I really appreciated it. I needed that space, and I was talking to a counselor, a therapist, I should say, for a few months. And I think it's so important to just say that that's what's been going on. And I'm in such a good place now. It really worked for me, being able to talk to someone through what you're going through.
So just to touch in that, I think the viewers don't know. I think we both have been going to a counselor this past year and telling our story and just sharing our story, and it has really opened our eyes, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you just never know. Like you don't really realize as you're going on your day to day, you're going to work, you're doing this and that, and you don't realize how sometimes things just like build up. And I think it's especially, I think we're especially vulnerable when you're in the queer community to have these things build up. Like that was a huge part of it. The like my queer identity was a huge part of what I would talk to my therapist about. Because you know, for me at the moment, I live at home with my parents, and in Indo-Fijian communities, accepting gay, lesbian, and bisexual queer people is just not. We're not there yet, and it's a lot of pressure.
That's absolutely totally true what you're saying, Noel. I completely agree with every word that just came out of your mouth right now. I think it's extremely important because not just as queer people, because our society has conditioned us to live a certain way, we need to break through all this, the mold, no, the mold that we are inside right now. So
Mm.
the realization when it sets in, I mean, that's the positive part of it. Like, look at you now, for example. That smile on your face, girl,
Yeah, I'm smiling now, everyone. I've got a huge smile on my face.
right? And
I
that haircut does not look bad.
yeah, I like this feeling. I'm enjoying this feeling. I've had significant breakthroughs in my personal life, and one of the things that I want to talk about is it's the fact that I actually during this time I was able to have a conversation with my dad about my sexuality. I was able to, as people say, come out, which is something I had, you know, could never have imagined doing
Wait.
even
So
a
you
year
finally
ago.
felt comfortable to sit down with your dad and have a conversation about your sexuality. Not necessarily coming out, but like have a conversation about yourself, about who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
did.
just,
I put.
just like tell me how was that moment like, and
Oh,
that moment like, how did you build yourself up?
I was so nervous, and anxious, and obviously, like, this is in the in the middle of me dealing with all that stuff that was going on, right? And I had some guidance through the therapist that I was seeing, and through friends and stuff who I've been, you know, talking to as well. And I should also mention this is during a national lockdown, so we couldn't really go anywhere, and it was just me and my dad living at home at that time. I was so nervous, and but at the same time, like, I remember distinctly, like, he was in the sitting room. I'm in my room, and I just suddenly thought in my head, it's today. And I walked down the hall, and he was on the phone, so I kind of just lingered there in the hallway, and and then I just sort of like, oh, I don't know what to do. He's on the phone, so I walked back to my room, and then a second later, I was like, no, I didn't even sit down. Like I walked into my room, and then I turned right back around and walked back down, and he had finished his call in that time, and he sat down, and I walked in, sat down, and I said,
Yeah.
hey Dad, are you busy? I want to talk. Um, and then he must have known it was something serious because he turned the TV off and he put his phone away, and then we just talked, and I explained it to him, and he took it a lot better than I had expected. Obviously, not like it wasn't the perfect outcome. You know, he's not really
It
adjusting.
wasn't that white parent reaction. I'll
It was
support you no matter what you do.
There was no Love Simon over here, okay? It was not that. We're still like handling that. He's still coming to terms with it.
Of course, we
Um,
need to give them time as well. We can't just expect to blow a bomb, not a bomb, like just to say it, and just to for them to just run with it, just to give them some time as well. Of course.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, this whole thing came about because like sort of just going back to what started this whole chain of events a few months prior, which led to me stepping away from the podcast. There was essentially the story is basically this: we had an event at home. Which led to a major sort of meltdown for me. There was a lot of family around. Luckily, it didn't happen in front of anyone, but I
Hmm.
had this sort of moment, this breakdown. There was a lot of pressure that evening. People, we had a puja. So for anyone that doesn't know, puja is like a prayer at home, and they wanted me to sing. Used to sing kirtan, or anyone that doesn't know what that means, that means sort of folk music, like Indo-Fijian folk music. So I had to sing even though I didn't want to, and at the same time I had this pressure of like needing to talk to my dad, all happening in my head. And so after I had that sort of moment, and luckily thank goodness I had a friend there that night who happened to be next to me when it happened, and she
What
was able to
happened?
help me. So I had this breakdown. I had a panic attack. It was a major one.
Oh shit.
Um, and so she helped me through it, and then after that, things got, but that was like the low point. Things picked up so much after that. I was talking to people, just figuring my shit out. And so going through that thing, I had to go through it, I feel like, almost. And the end result was that I was able to eventually come to terms with what I was feeling inside, and then tell my dad, like, I've had anxiety, and now I'm coming out to you. This is what it all means. And the thing I realize as well is that they have no idea what anxiety means. They don't know what mental health is. They don't know what gay, lesbian, bisexual, all they don't know. They have never had to deal with any of that. So I can sort of empathize with what he's going through. But at the same time, I'm very glad that I did what I had to do, because now I can concentrate on my own journey, even if they're not gonna be able to follow along exactly the way that you would hope.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I have progressed in my life now.
I'm so happy for you to 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 just to just remove this burden you have been walking around all your life, throughout your life,
Yeah.
because um at the end of the day, personally speaking, from my experience, Noel, because we've been through the same process in our life. Although I had arrived earlier, um you have arrived now, but we've been through the same journey, and at the end of the day, a I'm getting teary while I talk about this, because this is something I came into realization when I was going to see this counselor as well. No, we are such people pleasers that sometimes we forget to. We're brought up like that, to please our family, to please our friends.
Hmm.
Sometimes to forego what your needs are. No, so
Yeah.
we got lost through my 30 years on this planet. In the first 30 years I was lost in pleasing everyone else, and I've only
Mhm.
came to realization that I need to be a little selfish when I hit 30, and that's really sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad
Yeah.
because I've lost like a good, if I make it to 60, good half of my life.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, you'll live beyond 60. Come on.
I'll be
You're gonna be
Beyonce sexy.
you're gonna be one of those old gays, like on, what are those guys on Instagram
Oh my
or
god,
TikTok?
those five gay guys. Oh my god, I love
Yeah,
them.
I
They're
love.
so
Yeah,
cute. They are
they're
so
brilliant. I
cute.
love those guys.
But apart from that, your personal experience speaks volume of what you've been through. And like you said, if once you hit rock bottom, it's the only way from there is up.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I've learned from this whole experience is, yeah, I had okay, I let's just put it on the table. I had the privilege of being able to go and have find a therapist and stuff. And yeah, that might not be practicable for everyone. But the
No.
main thing I felt was just being able to talk to like people, and my friends, especially the friends that I've made in the recent years, that have really helped and supported in that. I think it's just so important to really get things off your chest so that you can then make sense of it.
That's so true. And another thing that's really important is breaking away. I don't know how to say this. Breaking away from old relationships you've had, because the old relationships are constraints as well of the old you. Um,
Mm,
Personally speaking, I've had friends in my life growing up with which now I have no contact with them, and
right.
rightfully so, because there was a stage in my life where I felt like they were my friends, and I felt like I could connect to them, I could relate to them. But now I'm in a position in my life I cannot, I have nothing to relate to. So in that sense I've evolved as well. I think that
Yeah.
I have the right people around me,
Yeah.
to talk to be open to be comfortable about myself. And I'm sure
Yeah.
that you, along your path right now, you're finding the same type of people. It's so easy
Yeah.
for the selection process right now for us.
Yeah. Well, we grown now, isn't it?
Bro,
We're grown
I'm
now.
a grown woman.
Exactly, and who we become, who we've become now after this, this moment in our lives. We're just so
Yes.
different, you know.
Hey, yes. Bah, I can talk back now, and you can too.
Oh,
I know that. We
yes,
can
we
clap
can.
back.
Clap back. That's what we do these days. We clap back, especially when we're in these bulges and with the family all around, and they want to start their little thing, their little jibes.
True.
I'm trying to get you, and I'm just like, no, it's not gonna work this time.
No, of course.
um,
I am so worried about that because it's been 6 years, Noel, since I've been to Fiji. 7 years,
really,
right?
has it
So
been that long?
it's been that long. So I'm really worried about going to Fiji, and not I'm not talking about culture shock because I'm not gonna have culture shock in Fiji. I'm a fucking Keidolo from Fiji, so obviously I'm not gonna have culture. But I'm gonna have, however, I think I'm gonna have a reverse culture shock.
Okay.
Reverse culture shock is because I was a very different person when I left Fiji, and
Mm,
going back, like you said, I've changed now. We have changed now. So going to Fiji, I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm I saw a video on TikTok yesterday, last night, with Adri, with my boyfriend, and there was this guy talking about reverse culture shock. He had been living.
mm,
He was from States, and he'd been living in Europe for only 3 years, and going back to
right.
States and having conversations with his friends, it made him realize that he did not fit in no more.
Right.
So I'm really scared about that. Like, like
Yeah.
just going.
Six
I'm not.
years is a long time.
It's a long time, and I'm not the same person that in Fiji that from Thursday till Sunday would be in Ed Spa drinking and getting drunk on the first day. You know what I mean?
uh, don't know hate for Ed's Bar. Ed's Bar's fucking amazing.
Well, Ed Spa's closed, boo boo.
Is it really?
I think that yeah, Ed Spa is closed, and they're opening another bar there. I
Mhm.
won't be
That's sad.
surprised if it's Soros Bar. That bitch is not telling us anything.
Oh, are
If
you
it's,
serious?
I'm serial, and it's called the Hive.
Are you spilling the tea? Oh my god. Are you
I
kidding?
think
Oh
so.
my god.
Okay, this is like just gossip. Okay,
Okay.
this is like just wishful thinking. I hope it's Zoro's Pass, so we don't have to pay entry ever. But at the rate this guy is opening everything in Fiji, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna
Yeah.
open up as well soon.
I can't wait to go to Fiji though to see
You were
the
telling
cafes.
June, July. I'm probably gonna be there for 3 months
Oh.
because I can
Hmm.
work from wherever I want.
Oh, damn. We grown now.
We grown. I told you this. I can be working from, like, I don't know, from Ed's bar.
I can just see you sitting in the middle of like the bar at night, and everyone's having a good time,
Can
and
you
you're there with
imagine?
your
That
laptop.
would be like fucking full circle for me if I do that. If I go back to Fiji and start working in Edgebound on a laptop or something, because back those
Yeah.
were the days when I used to crawl out of the pub on my
Yeah.
fours.
Oh my god.
Man,
No.
I swear to
If you,
God.
okay, here's a question though. So you talked about full circle. If you were face to face with Avi from 6 years ago right now, what would you do?
Ooh,
What would you do? What would you say?
don't get married,
Oh
girl.
shit.
6 years ago is when I got married. Don't get married.
Oh
Don't
my
get married,
god.
girl. Don't get married. Don't get rushed into things. Even though marriage for me was not like marriage for me is not important, because all throughout my life I knew that I was not ever gonna get married. The definition for marriage wasn't for me because it's always talked about men and women and everything. So for me, when I was proposed back in the day, for me it was just
Yeah,
signing a piece of paper. And I was just like, okay, cool.
right.
I'll sign a piece of paper. That's fine. But if I had to
Hmm.
change something, firstly it'd be don't get married, and second thing is stop fucking pleasing people. So just touching on full circle now, last week I think I had a call with you. Last week was it? Last week
Hmm.
is when I finished 6 years, and I had to go back to Malaga airport and do a handover. No,
Right.
and it was on the on I think on the 12th of February or something like that. I think it was last week, something like that. And it was the date I had stepped into the airport to go for the interview. So
Oh wow.
it was the same day I arrived at Malaga airport, not knowing the language or anything or where the fuck I was going, and then coming that day to do a handover of my airport, and and just getting a promotion on that day was like a fucking full circle for me.
Yeah,
That was amazing. That was like amazing.
that's awesome.
So tell me about you. Like if you had like 6 years ago, if you had to tell yourself
Yeah.
something, what were you gonna? Uh.
What would I say? Okay. Let me. What was 6 years ago? What year was that? I mean, seriously, what? We're
What year are
2020,
we now? Fuck, it's
23.
2016, Beach. So 2016 is when I think you moved to London, was it?
No, that was 2016. I had just moved to New Zealand from Australia. Back, I'd gone to Australia, so I had just moved back, and my sister was getting married. And what was I? Yeah, it was just a. It was a. That was an odd time. That period of time. So it was around then, I think, when I had finally had a conversation with my sister about sexuality, and so that's when it all sort of started for me. Was 6 years ago.
About
This very
sexuality
long.
in
Yeah,
general or about your sexuality?
about me. And but if I think back to who I was, oh my god, I was quite different. Like I was still very, like, I don't know, head down. And some might say I still am, head down, just get on with what I'm doing. But at that point, I had not figured out what my passion in life was yet. Like I knew I was into creative stuff, but I had not really pursued it actively. Um, and I was just quiet. I was a much quiet. I was very quiet, and sometimes now I might still come across as quiet. But
It's okay to be quiet.
yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I think the biggest difference in me from back then and now is I have learned, and this is again just through the friends that I've made. I have learned to clap back. I've
Clap back.
really learned because I have realized I don't give a shit about a lot of people now, right?
Or their
And so
opinion. Yeah.
all their opinions. And so back then, I used to really take it in. Like when people would say something, make a joke, or whatever, I would really
It will
internalize that
affect
shit.
you. Yeah.
It would affect you, and then I would just really, like, I would crumble like under that, and I would, get red in the face and just not want to be there. Now I just have this urge to just sort of like verbally slap someone in the face, like.
Love it. Oh my
I,
god. Yes, with
I
your
have
words,
the
boo boo.
Exactly, and I had the perfect opportunity recently. With I just so happened to be in a pool gel, and I had to pick up this big ass knife. Now, if you people listening, if you know any people from Fiji, you know that any Indo-Fijian household, for some reason, we always have machetes in our house.
Yeah,
We
it's called the ganala churi.
Yes, exactly. So I had one of those churis, and I was picking it up for doing something, and I turned around and I said to the guy, "Do you still want to keep talking right now?
Oh
Like, do you
girl,
still?"
no, okay. No,
And
that's
I, I
aggressive.
was, yeah, I mean, I am not a violent person at all, but they
This
laugh.
coming from a guy showing another guy a machete and
Yeah,
threatening
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. It was like, to be honest, it was the priest that asked for the knife, and I picked up the knife and I said, "Who's gonna make a joke now?" But do you know what? Everyone laughed at
Village.
that because they took it as a joke, and I realized I clapped back to this person who was making a comment about me not knowing what to do, and it ended up just making everyone laugh. Like they just, not in a bad way. It was more like, "Oh, he's having a bit of banter now. Like, okay, he can talk." And
And that's the
there
thing. You're letting yourself loose, and you're not letting anyone else bring you down with their words, and you can clap back. And the best thing you can do is just be like, just give a reply to that guy and make them shut up.
Exactly. And there were a few instances across that week where someone might say something, and I would just sort of, I would, kind of flick things back. And it would be
Yeah.
little things, but it would be just enough to make them shut up. And it was so good. It just felt so good to be able to do that and not have people, like, try and walk all over you.
Oh,
Um, so that is what I
absolutely.
have learned. And yeah,
I'm
it's
so
like,
happy that you're able to do that. I remember when you came. I remember when you and Zoro, when you guys came over here, you were so shy when we went
yeah.
out. Like when we went out to the club, I remember me and Zoro were trying to fix you to this guy, and then but you were so shy. You were like a newlywed bride, and I was just like, oh my god,
Oh
this guy
my
is rocking.
God. Oh my God,
You
I remember. Do you? I still follow him on Instagram. That guy.
You do. So, oh my, he was cute. He was a cute
Oh
little Spanish guy.
Lord!
Little, I don't know about little, but anyway, he was like a
Oh,
cute
I'm sure
Spanish guy. But
he was.
Noel, talking about that, if that happened now, today, if we were like pushing you to one guy in a club or something, would you grab that guy and run with it?
Oh yeah, we'll be
Okay,
flying,
okay.
flying back to the flat. Okay.
Because I remember you saying, Avi, I'm just gonna go home now. And I was just like, no! You left earlier that night. You were such a good
Oh,
boy.
yeah, I know, I did. Yeah, hey, in my defense, I had a flight at 8 a.m. that day, so
That's
I
true.
was
And
like,
then in our defense also, we did start going out from the 4 days we were together, the first 3 days.
yeah,
So like every fucking single day. So
it was good, and I remember that was one of the best birthdays that I ever had. Like, it was such a good trip. I
and we
loved
need
it.
we need to repeat a trip like this with all the gay friends of ours.
Yeah, we need
It would be
a.
so nice.
You know what? I was just thinking about that night. Okay, so when we were in Madrid, and I remember something that, and I think we talked about this last time. I remember that I didn't know what to wear when we went out. Like, I had brought, clothes, and stuff, and I was panicking because I didn't know what to wear when we went out to the club and stuff. And you gave me like a t-shirt, not a t-shirt. It was like a some sort of a shirt to wear, and I was like looking at what you and Zora were wearing, and I was like, okay,
It was Burdeo. Yeah, I remember that. It was a maroon shirt, a t-shirt,
yes, yes, and it
kind
looks
of
so
shiny.
good. Oh my god, it
And
looks so
you
good.
like hugged your body real good, and your boobies were
Yeah,
out.
these were out. Yeah. Oh my god, I like recently. I've been going back to going like shopping and stuff, trying to find things that will look good. I suck at fashion, but I
No, I
know
don't
that.
think so.
Oh, it is pretty basic, and I don't know. I'm slowly picking it up. Honestly, like looking at you and Zoro and other people, other Fijian TikTokers and stuff, looking
Please
at
do
what.
not. No, no, no. I need to stop you there. Please do not compare me to Sorrow. Like, I'm good.
What
I'm kidding.
a
No,
bitch! Oh shit!
no.
Oh my god!
I
But no,
don't go. Yeah. No, for me, I think fashion is such a broad topic. I think fashion for me is to have a personal sense of style, to be comfortable in clothes. No, for me, I think I've been always I think my mom's fault because my mom always had me dressed up in real good clothes from the very
yeah,
beginning, and I've
yeah,
always, as a gay child, I've always loved fashion and what I wear and stuff.
mm,
And I also remember, like, I never wanted to wear what other people wore. Like, so I used to be really concerned about the next person not wearing the same thing as me. So I
mm,
would buy clothes and I would make changes to it, little tits and changes to it. So if I would
mm,
buy a shoes, I would change the lace to another color. If I buy a pants, I will cut it and I'll put a sticker or something, like you call it
yeah,
embroidery, that somewhere. And I
right,
always look for things that no one else has. I think it's really important for your style, Noel. I think it's really important to know what works best for your body. For me,
yeah,
I know jeans don't work for my body. I don't
right.
have the legs to wear jeans. What suits my lower body to make my ass looks bigger? Cargo pants. Cargo pants are back in fashion, boo boo. It makes your legs
Okay.
look big. Cargo pants. Fuck yeah. I bought
Oh
like
my
7 cargo
god.
pants last month,
Oh
all
my
different
god.
colors.
Oh, right.
So cargo pants, and you know what's back in fashion, boo boo? I'll show you.
Okay. What the fuck is that? Oh, like the man bag, like the fanny pack.
Fanny pack. But I've also bought this man bag, which is this is a fanny pack, but I have a man bag, which is
Yeah.
like a little case, and you just put it on the
Oh, I've
side and
seen
carry it
those.
with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen. I don't know if I can pull that off.
You can pull it off. So all you need to do is like a strap that goes from here to here, and you put your bag here.
What do you put in the bag?
Okay, boo boo. Since the pandemic, I put I put alcohol. I have like my sanitizer. I have spare mask. I have like I have
Okay.
like
Yeah.
poppers, condoms.
Oh
Gay
my
people
god.
have shit to put in.
Jeez. Okay. You're prepared. That's good.
Exactly. So you need to find, like, for style, Noel. I think you have a nice ass. So I think jeans on your body looks really good because you have long legs and you have a nice ass and big thighs. So jeans on your body
Ass
looks
is
good.
getting fat.
But try to accentuate the parts of your body that you like. For example, your chest are really nice, so wearing shirts like the ones I gave you, it brings out
Yeah,
the form of your chest and your body and makes you feel good. You felt good that
yeah,
night, didn't you?
good. I felt really good.
That's I think that's the important aspect of any clothing item. The person wearing it should feel good about it. It defies the
Yeah.
purpose if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So once you
I have
when you
made
walk out
some.
of that house, you should feel like you're the queen bitch.
Yeah.
Like everyone's looking at you. That's like my
Right.
mentality when I get out. I live in a small town here in Kartama, and even
Yeah.
if I'm going to buy bread, boo boo,
Oh no. You take your man bag with the condoms just to go and buy bread and milk?
you need to have alcohol and mask when you get out. I mean, you never know when you might need poppers.
Oh,
Like,
gee.
no, but no, literally, I don't take the man bag, but I
Okay.
do like try to like look my best when I go out. I like to feel good. It's
Yeah.
important. It's for me. It's not for anybody else. It's for me to feel
Yeah.
good about myself.
I have made some changes to my wardrobe recently. I did go and buy a couple of new things. I've been trying things. I even posted on my Instagram like of me
I
trying
saw it.
stuff, and I felt quite good. It was a little different to what I normally wear. And tomorrow I'm going to go shopping again because I think you know what, I'm going to go and buy some of
And
this
those
stuff.
lined pants you were wearing, I think those chinos. You bought
Yeah.
some chinos. Those looks nice. Those hugs you. It hugs your thighs and your legs, like I was talking about. It looks really
Yeah.
nice. Makes you look tall. And that you, I think you had a plain shirt that you had tucked in.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, loved,
I yeah, I know.
loved.
I'm so over like the whole slim, like the tight fitting t-shirts and stuff. The loose fit is back, and that's so, oh my god, I'm
The
loving
loose
that.
fitted bag, the bag. Oh, the bag. I've got myself also another thing, another addition to my wardrobe are baggy hoodies,
Ooh,
like oversized hoodies. I love.
oh my gosh. Okay, I have a few
That's
of
something
those stored
that I've
away.
gotten. So yeah, fashion to me is trying to feel comfortable in your own fucking body.
Yeah.
And so I think we've come to an end of the podcast now. But like, so I just wanted to, us Fijian people, we don't have access to learning many languages in the world. So when I came to Spain, I had fucking no idea how to speak Spanish. So how about we end this podcast with a small Spanish lesson, how to
All
say
right.
certain things in Spanish. So I'll teach you so the viewers can also listen up, okay? Very
Okay.
common mistake. One of the very common mistakes people make, when we talk about Spanish language, is how you say, how are you?
Mhm.
Because you need to know it's a basic. So if you go to a country, you need to know to say hello, how are you? So if you Google it, in Google it will show as hola, ¿cómo estás? Okay,
Mhm.
it's very common. This type of language is very common in South of America, in countries like
Right.
Mexico. But in real Spanish, people here don't use that. People say hola, ¿qué tal? That's how
¿Qué
you
tal?
say. Exactly. That's how you say, how are you? ¿Qué tal? That's it. So now say
Wow.
it. Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hola, ¿qué tal?
And then you say, and to reply it, I'm good. Muy bien.
Muy bien.
Oh, yeah. Say it again. Muy bien.
Muy bien. That's what I'll say.
Ooh.
I'll say that to the guy. Muy bien to that guy in the club.
Okay, so if anyone comes up to you and says, is it in yet? What do you say?
I don't know about that
No, you
one.
say muy bien.
Muy bien. Okay. Okay. All right. Avi, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone that's been listening into
Thank
our
you, everybody
reboot.
that's been listening, and so sorry for the long break we've had. Everyone deserves a break.
Oh yeah, we all deserve a break. We are back now, and I'm so excited. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed listening in. And we will see you very soon again.
Young. We'll try not to make a long break this time.
We'll try. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.